Music should be your escape. Women are not always taken as seriously as we should be, so sometimes we have to put our foot down. I know that some people shy away from what I say. They think it is too blunt, but when you don't give people that, they feel like you are being fake and you're not telling the truth. So it's like, you want me to tell the truth, but when I do, it's too much for you. I want kids of this generation to see that everything is cool, that there's some kind of unity in hip-hop. We all found something that's really important to us, and music is all we've really got. I can't complain. I think when you get to a certain point, you shouldn't complain because there's so many people who would kill to get to this point. If you got talent, you just have to do you. My mother helped me to be who I am, to have strength and not to let people run all over me, and yet to be humble, to realize that all of this that I have today could be gone. I love my mother. She's my first love. She has been through a lot and is a soul survivor. Now everybody's sampling. If you believe a black cat is bad luck, people think you're crazy, but plenty of times, if I see a black cat down my street, I turn around and go the other way. Even if I'm late, I'll be late for the airport and be in a limo, and if I see a black cat, I'll be like, "Sir, you have to turn around and go down the next street." Breaking news, there is only one Missy. When you are creating to the magnitude that I try to create, your brain is like a computer, and you need to refresh. I used to put all my doll babies on my bed with their hands up and I would do full shows for them. I'd even do the screaming and clapping. I was bugging to be a singer. I'd stand on the side of the road when I was just a little girl singing on trash cans. It's funny, because for females in general, not just in music, but the corporate ladder as well, anything we do has always been harder for us. When it comes to music, the industry wants you to conform, to look like this and to sound like this and do this or that. It makes it harder. It's harder for us to come out and be bosses and lead the pack. There's that saying, God gave you talent, and if you don't use it he'll take it away from you. And I always said, I don't want God to come down and take my talents away. So, by using all these talents and being successful in all of them, I've always got something to fall back on. I was very disturbed to find that a few people were angry at my weight loss. I try not to be cruel to people. I know there's a karma, and I'm constantly thinking of my blessings. I live and die by being a Baptist. If I can't go to church on a Sunday, I'll get a tape by the Clark sisters and slide it in for the day. He was like, I want to get in the studio with you. Who turns down Pharrell? You get people who rap about stuff that they don't do all day long. Half those guys, you hear them on the radio, and then you meet them, and you're like, wow, they're so sweet. I think it's being innovative and very creative to stay away from flat-out sampling somebody else's record. To me, that doesn't show too much of your creative side unless you take a little piece and add it, almost like spice on a chicken. What I love about Kanye is that he doesn't fit the mold either. He does what he feels. Hip-hop is definitely not what it used to be, which was creative, original music. My father was very abusive, and it was hard for my mother at first to leave because we had depended on him for so long. Sometimes you kind of get adjusted to getting that beating. No matter what I'm doing for myself or someone else, I'm constantly writing and working on other people's albums. Before Missy, there was no comparison to what Missy was doing. I got a mother who's very strong after taking the whippings that she took from my father. When you turn on your radio, you don't always want to hear about someone shooting some person. Even if that's the lifestyle they live, people don't always want to hear it. I mean, when it's time to rhyme, I can get down for mine. When it comes to size, most people don't want to see themselves looking bigger than what they are. I wasn't born a superstar. A lot of times, I walk down the street and listen to people argue, and then I write a song about it. I don't want to be oh so brag about it, but the rain is hot. I've always had a lot of creative impact on the music with Timbaland. I'm blessed to be living this dream of writing and singing, but that's not the real dream I had. The real dream was to make enough money to take care of all the pain and suffering that my mother has been through. When I first started out in the music industry and went to Elektra Records, I didn't go to be an artist, I went to get a record label started. And they said in order to have a label deal, I had to be an artist, so that's what I did. I talked about my father being abusive to my mother. People have never heard me talk about anything like that. That brings people a little bit more personal with Missy. Left Eye is a rare gem. And basically I always said when I was little that if I ever became successful or a celebrity, I would buy her this huge house and she would never have to work anymore. And I've done that, so I feel happy about doing that. It's just that back then we didn't know that was considered being a co-producer. I would sit on the side and say what I wanted musically, but at the time we thought if you aren't the one playing it, you don't get the credit. Now you'll start seeing my name listed as producer. I'm not trying to come off as the best lyricist. I still go on YouTube and watch the old performances and the Soul Train lines. I'm still amazed by how much soul and funk the music and dancers had. I have to respect her family, and until they come and say, we're ready to do an Aaliyah album, then I don't really want to come and try to get into that because that's very sensitive. I remember having mice in the house and my father taking some newspaper and beating me because mice was running on me while I was asleep. I felt like, how do I fit in? But then I never fit in. The whole time, I've never fit in. I got caught up in doing records for other artists. I just stayed behind the scenes, and time just kinda passed. I do Dance Revolution. I'm not as good as the little kids that come in the arcade. Their little feet go crazy fast. I'm not that fast, but I'm good on it. I believe that tracks speak to me. Some tracks make me write certain music or make me feel sad or inspire me to write a sad love song. Each track has its feeling to me. No, because I don't want to hear what's hot and feel I have to copy it. I'll just make up my own thing. I always feel the need to work as if I don't have a deal, because that's what's going to keep me around for a long time. Visit our website for more quotes, quoting.com.